Hiya, it's Friday, Cali Freedom Friday, July 19th, 2024. As our first time guest, Adam N. Williams, was just saying, whoo, it's been a roller coaster of an energy week. Not only did the former possible, current, probable future president of the United States, Donald Trump, almost seem to get nearly assassinated, there's just been a whole bunch of energy roller coastering. And with that, I am going to shut up and let Orit take the stage and invoke us appropriately.
Thank you, Michael. It's been really hilarious this week. Yeah, energies and everything, but generally speaking, hilarious. All right, we gathered here. Let's take a nice full breath all the way down to the bottom of the lungs and fully exhaling, letting go of any heaviness, any discombobulation and craziness, drain down to the earth, allowing Mother Earth to take all our heaviness and make it into food for all her children. And we are here today to welcome Adam and to have a beautiful conversation about our freedoms, our liberties, how to break away from the matrix, and all this good stuff. So calling on all our angels, all the archetypes and space holders that we have around us, seen and unseen, to hold space for us, that we speak directly from our heart, that we speak only truth, kindly, compassionately, that we express ourselves in the highest frequency possible, and that we create this group, this core group that shines its light upon this earth, illuminates the darkness. Let's all step into the light, from darkness to light. Hayaya. And so it is.
Thank you, dear heart. Impeccable as always.
Very nice.
So,
Thank you.
Christopher was mentioning that he was on the Jesse Hall interview show, hailing from Calgary, Canada. We were, as a group, interviewed by Jesse back on April 24th, I believe it was. And at that time, Jesse said, I want to do this with you guys every month. I'd known Jesse for a while through various connections. And so when he sent me a message saying, hey, I'd like to interview you on The Missing Link is his show, I said, well, you can't. You can't interview me. You can interview Mankinder, but not just me, because this is not the Mikey show. This has to be a group thing. And then he liked everybody individually so much that he invited a bunch of folks to do individual interviews. And this week he did one with Christopher, a day after the one that he did with Joyce. And Azimuth really called it. You put a comment out there saying, more content. So yeah, more content that I really need to edit together. But now we've really kind of just proven the point that this is a all for one for all, collaborative, mutual aid society kind of concept. And Christopher, the way that you mentioned Mankinder so succinctly and beautifully, I can't tell you how much I appreciated that. It's really delightful to notice. You got any thoughts you want to share quickly before we go to Adam? I just wanted to give you thanks for and appreciation for all that. And I'm so glad I'm going to see you here in San Diego. I presume that your pal Heaven Hope is going to be with you tomorrow, as we discussed last weekend.
Yeah. So it was a 2-hour plus interview, and I started fading towards the end, but I also took the conversation into a nice direction. And Jesse, he was on the same wavelength pretty much as us. I found out he had a near-death experience where he was stabbed like 11 times years ago, and he hung on and obviously lived to tell about it. So I mentioned the near-death experience I had. Anyway, yeah, I made sure to get in the certain bullet points that I wanted to focus on free energy, for instance, and also Mankinder and what we were doing. I don't know if in the chat anybody can comment from the other platform whether or not they watched it. So yeah, it was a good interview, and we covered a lot of different stuff. So if you haven't watched it, you might want to watch it in segments, though. It's pretty long.
I was there live for some of it, at least the second half, and it was wonderful. It was really good. And Jesse is very gracious in the way he asks a question and then steps away and let his guest speak.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, the chatter from the audience that he had, I think he had about 2,000 people checking in or listening, and some of the comments were really quite out there, quite strange, but other comments were very appropriate, and I got a chance to answer questions from his audience as well. And I haven't watched more than a fraction of his other programs, but earlier that day I watched the Preston Dennett interview that he had, and I had known Preston years ago when he lived in Topanga and was just starting out on his UFO research, and it was very fascinating, and to hear him speak and where he's come all these years and different conclusions he's reached about the extraterrestrial phenomena. A lot of what he said made a lot of difference, and based on my knowledge too, made a lot of sense. So Jesse's getting some, pretty high class people to come in and talk. He's trying to get Dr. Stephen Greer to come in, but so far Greer's people have told him that his audience wasn't big enough. So whatever we can do here to increase Jesse's audience, maybe one day he'll be able to convince Dr. Greer to be on his show too.
Yeah. Well, within his first few interviews, he was talking to David Icke and Sasha Stone. He's interviewed almost everybody. And, as we said, over 800 interviews. So I have a little bit of extra insight from my conversations with his girlfriend, Angeline Joy. And, we can talk off the record privately about how I feel we can help him, because he's really beautifully aligned with us very, very much, as you as you noticed. So
Michael,
it was.
audio Michael's breaking up.
Oh, sorry about that. Doing my best here with my.
It's
mediocre.
not breaking up for me.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I think there's a lot we can help Jesse with, and I think he's motivated. But like so many folks, including our pal Renette Senum, who I have a good report from, he's stretched thin and doing everything himself. It's really between him and Angeline, so it's not easy. He's struggling a lot. And my web browser keeps crapping out. So any minute now, I will have proper video for you guys. But Adam, if you can unmute while I try to drag your image into the center screen.
Sure.
Let's hear a little bit of your background for our folks that don't know you.
Cool. Well, thank
and
you.
Your interests.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, everyone, for having me on here and allowing me to share and be a part of your group. It's been nice connecting with you, Michael, over Facebook these last months, getting to know you and what you care about. And yeah, this is what we need to be able to discuss and share and get these ideas out there. So my background, I grew up all over America. I've traveled all around the world. I've been in 40 countries. When I was 17 years old, I had 17 addresses. So we moved around a lot as I was a child. My dad was a corporate champion, not a military one, which is what everyone guesses first. And I kind of always wanted to go into business. So after I graduated from Rice University, I went to work on Wall Street. And you guys were talking earlier about the dark energies surrounding corporate and this and invocation, the transition from darkness to light. So I do know a lot about that. So I went from analyst to associate to vice president to director in the investment bank as a derivatives trader. Had a $400 million book of responsibilities and equity derivatives, convertible bonds, and whatnot at the top. And then the great financial crisis happened, and that was a big moment for my awakening because I was a pretty big statist before that happened. Just going through the school, doing all the stuff tell you to do to be a productive member of society. And when the destruction of my first seven-figure fortune that I had built with no debt, that took me 2 years to save, happened in 2 years at the end of the great financial crisis, poof, medic! Then that was a pretty big awakening moment, because if you're in war and you lose an arm, everyone can see that. But if your entire fortune gets destroyed, as well as the way that you made that fortune and all your mentors and everything else has all disappeared, that's also can be just as traumatic, but other people can't see it. So despite having worked on the street for 10 years, I didn't really understand how the Federal Reserve worked and all the insidious things going on in the financial system. So I read The Creature from Jekyll Island. I learned about Ron Paul. This is all 2011, 2012. Started to get active on Facebook. I met Larkin Rose. I've been doing content with him for like at least 8 years. I was actually physically I saw Michael, you shared a Mark Passio post the other day. I was physically at Mark Passio's 9-hour natural law seminar in 2013. That's got hundreds of thousands of views and is one of the better pieces of Liberty content ever. So from there, took me a while to create the Freedom vehicle I have now, which is being an online fitness coach. Been coaching people for 8 years. I left the country in 2016 to pursue my now wife, lived in the Netherlands for 6 years, and have just been promoting voluntarism and anarchy and small L libertarianism for the last decade. Spoken in Acapulco twice, and just spent a lot of time on Facebook talking about these principles. So again, thanks for having me on.
When did you speak at Acapulco?
I spoke there 2017 and 2018. And so my 2017 speech is my best speech ever. That's called What Brings Peace. And it's a really excellent speech. My roommate for that trip, he was in Toastmasters. So we worked on it for a couple days and it really, really popped. I wasn't able to make it in 2019, and then I spoke virtually again in 2020. So in person in 17 and 18, those are really great experiences, and wonderful to be in person around Ben Swan and Berwick and Pasio. Do you guys want to hear the Ron Paul story? What he said to Volta and I when we met Ron Paul?
Sure.
Of course you do. So in 2018, Ron Paul was the keynote speaker, and I believe I opened that day on the main stage, and Ron Paul closed that day. So all the speakers in Acapulco had their own table, and I arrived early and got the table right next to him, so I'd be able to meet him. Been a huge fan of his for many years. One of the only ones in Congress, consistently saying the same thing for 40 years, and one of the only peaceful ones. So waited my time until the crowd around him had died down, and we went over and got his attention and reached my hand out, and he took it. And I said, "Hi, Dr. Paul. My name's Adam Williams. I'm also from Texas. Been a big fan for a long time. I moved away from Texas now, but it's just so glad to meet you." And he didn't say it, but his eyes said, "They got chocolate people speaking here. Great!" So that was kind of how that felt. And he said, but what he said was, "Where's your home?" And I said, "Well, I live in the Netherlands now. I actually left the country to pursue more freedom and liberty. My girlfriend is Dutch, and so I've been over there, and it's been a great experience." So I turned to Lotta, who was out of his view, and kind of masculine. I said, "Hey, Lotta, come here." Like sweet, but also masculine. So she comes over. So she's looking incredible. And Ron Paul doesn't look at her for 1 second, but didn't look at her for 6 seconds, kind of in the middle. And he says, "Well, that sounds like a good cause." So that was the experience of Ron Paul.
Wow. So what's your interpretation of all that?
That meeting, just genuine, man. These politicians, they I guess many of them are very charismatic. I mean, people who say they've met Bill Clinton, he knows all the people from your town that are meaningful, and he can connect with you on something. He's just brilliant like that. But I don't know, his behavior and the things he's supported and made happen leaves a lot to be desired. But yeah, I mean, there are some people in government that I really like and I trust. I trust Thomas Massie, the only one to vote against the $2 trillion COVID bill. Kind of strange how a few weeks after he comes out and says, "Isn't it weird how every congressman has an AIPAC representative following him around like a puppy, and introduces a bill to audit the Fed? His wife is dead." That's kind of strange. And then people... Right, and then people like, I mean, even on the Democrat side, like Dennis Kucinich, he was a good man. There's people out there. I like Spike Cohen, a lot, who's the, been involved for a long time. You guys know Spike, so I do not want to participate in anything with statism anymore. But what I always say is, just because I'm a Jedi doesn't mean I'm not going to help stormtroopers blow up the Death Star. So that's what I have to say about that.
That's a great metaphor. Yeah, well, it doesn't get much more niche than voluntarism, right? And for the longest time, I've been saying, okay, who are I've been asking David James Rodriguez. Now, by the way, did you overlap with him when he was speaker coordinator?
Absolutely, yeah. He was coordinating then. David was great on helping everything there, and just a wonderful person. So I've been with him in person at least once, if not twice. He probably was there in 2017 as well. My memories of him were in 18, but yeah, I respect him a lot. I mean, he making COVID videos, excuse me, convid. I don't say COVID anymore, I say convid.
Right.
One of the thing I do, you guys can adopt this too if you want. I never use the words the state wants me to use, if at all possible. So I don't say pandemic. I say plandemic, scamdemic, effing convid lie. I also don't say, yeah, I say convid. So I also don't use black and white for people. I never say that. I say chocolate and vanilla, or I say melanin enhanced or melanin deficient, you guys. And that always gets a laugh. Because if you don't know, black and white, that's a total statism creation from the colonists. If you look at any book from 1,000 years ago, the Iliad, they don't say black and white in there. You're a slave or a free person or from Egypt or whatever. And after, the first experiment in liberty, got a constitution, Bill of Rights, the colonists are, well, we're not paying any taxes. We just beat the English over 3% that we're not paying anything. They're like, time out, citizens, time out. We're going to take some rights away from the blacks and give them to the whites. And people are still fighting about that today. So I don't participate in that. Always use your own words.
Agreed. Always. Feels better too. Makes
Yeah, chocolate and vanilla. Yeah. I've gotten dozens of people do that.
And it's not easy to unprogram ourselves. It takes a long time. You have to hear yourself speak. You have to hear about the words you're about to say. You have to be uncomfortable in front of other people. You have to start changing that. And it gets easier with time. You spend that about a year on that and everything starts shifting. Sounds like you've been doing it for many, many years as well. And it feels better, right? We're rewriting our own path, our own future and history. Yeah,
just being deliberate with our language. Absolutely.
Adam, have you ever been to the Jackalope Freedom Festival in Arizona?
Jackalope?
I haven't been to that one yet. I've been to Freedom Fest in Brooklyn. I've been to Mark Passio's Free Your Mind event in Pennsylvania, and then Acapulco twice. I've seen Abraham Hicks in person. I taught the Avatar course for 9 years. That's a personal development, spiritual course. And so I've just been a big advocate of personal development. I've spent over $100,000 on trainings and therapies and workshops and all kinds of things to elevate my consciousness and myself over the years. So all kinds of events, but not that one. I've never been to Pork Fest and I haven't been to Jackalope. Not yet.
Wow. Well, so what I was talking with David James Rodriguez about is who are the spokespersons for voluntarism, and the main names that kept coming up is Larkin and Mark Passio, and just they're brilliant fonts of genius, but not necessarily your ideal telegenic spokesperson. Now, one, I'm just being very frank as a marketing guy. I'm a child of the advertising industry. I just got to be real. And, especially as Mark's been getting just angrier and angrier.
Yeah, angrier. Yeah, I can't even watch him anymore. So Larkin, to that end, Larkin and I think we only did 2 or 3 episodes. We did a show called Good Anarchist, Bad Anarchist. And he was the confrontational one, and I was the nonviolent communication one. So we did a couple shows. They were really cool. And yeah, what I try to do is make voluntarism attractive. So it's a lot of beautiful bodies and beautiful pictures on my stories, and a lot of positivity, and travel and fun and friendships, just to make these beliefs into a lifestyle that is attractive for the statist looking for a new way to live and behave.
Well, I've got a couple ideas for you, and one of them is going to be real obvious to you, which is your pal Miss Wedler. You've known her for a long time, and I just happened to see another clip of hers just today, and I went, oh my God, she's knocking it out of the park again. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about her and your connection with her and all that.
Sure. So yeah, I have a nice connection with Carrie. Haven't been close to her in the last few years, but we had a really meaningful connection in 2017 in Acapulco. Both she and Macy Tomlin, you guys know Macy Tomlin, were like the two supposedly single girls that all the men in Acapulco would wanted to spend time with, and of course I spent the most time with each of them, and I actually protected Carrie from a threat. There's someone's talking in the background. So we went to a party off campus, and she wanted to get some water, so I wanted to make sure I was with her, and these ruffians were in Acapulco, not away from the hotel, just in the place, and it can be a very dangerous town. And these ruffians that we had seen hours before were still there, but it's now much later. It's like 2-3 a.m. at night, and they're just staring at us, looking ominous, and it just did not feel good. So I'm in the gas station, and Carrie's getting her water. And I'm looking at the people working there. I said, are these people going to help me if there's a problem? And I look at them like, no. So I take my lightsaber out and I put it behind me and, extend it in case I got to, hit somebody with it when I go outside. And we walk out, and they've now blocked our exit. Okay, like they're ready to do whatever. I turn and go around immediately. Carrie immediately follows me. Guy starts screaming at us afterwards, blah, 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 in Spanish, the puto at the very end, which is like, fucker. And so, Carrie and I got to be friends there, and, she's a great speaker. The guy that she used to date is a guy named Amir Zindanam. He and I became very, very good friends as well. That's how we became initial friends, protecting her. And I just was talking to him the other day, and I didn't get a chance to get her number because I don't have it. But I want to invite her to be on the Sport Coat Symposium soon. So yeah, I would love to collaborate with Carrie again, but it's been a while.
Absolutely. So I would love to put together a marketing strategy plan with you guys. I like what you're doing with your Michael, who's a fellow Paisan.
Yes, he's great.
And if you wanted to use this format on your Tuesday, I don't need to talk because I'm not an expert, but I would just be honored to, play switcher for you, figure out ways that we can mash up and combine mailing lists and do more promotion.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'm open, man. We'll definitely discuss.
Cool. One of the things that we're moving toward promoting is probably going to reach a lot of folks, and that's saveourskies.org, my friend Renette Senham's anti-geoengineering campaign. Does that sound familiar to you or of interest to you?
I don't know. I have looked into the geoengineering and the HARP and all that stuff to some extent, but it's not my biggest area. But yeah, that's very important.
It starts from chemtrails and just keeps going. And what they're spraying is really toxic. And
heavy metals.
It's a fire accelerant. It's not good for the food. It's not good for mankind in general. It seems to be integrated with the 5G and the nanotech and basically remote controllability of mankind. So it's pretty spooky. The more you look into that, the spookier it gets. So if we can get to that, which we can, and first you have to start by believing it, get to the root of it. And what she's using is notice of liability. And so she's using Cal Washington's system, but also David Jose, who's a guy in Arizona that I was communicating with starting in 2020. And he's the first guy that I heard calling himself a chocolate brother.
That's great. I have a question for everyone in the group.
Yeah.
And because just something I notice, I'm observing about 50% of the anarchists, voluntarists, libertarians in my space stay with their principles, and they want to sit out this election and not vote and not participate in their own enslavement, and realizing that voting is a suggestion box for slaves. But about 50% are jumping on Trump. And if you recall, we did have Lysander Spooner, who was very principled. He did write that voting can be a moral act of self-defense. So just curious for everyone in the group, just based on what you feel, is Trump an agent of helping something towards liberty and exposing the corruption, or is he just part of it? I'm curious what you guys think.
Well, I'm looking at all sides of everything. And as nice as the Q story and the White Hat stories sound, I can't bet on that. And maybe it's true. And a variety of people have been saying that, yes, White Hat, there are some White Hats. There is some of this stuff that we're hearing is happening. But I can't sit on my hands and believe in that. Now, is Trump a better candidate than Biden? Sure, but there's still they're spokesmen. To me, it's an actor, and you're just replacing the faceplate. However, I'll be honest with you, we have, and my intention with Mankinder is to actually be non-political. So this is a tricky little dance, because the concept of Mankinder is to be for mankind, period, which means all our affiliated species. So, and anything that's demonic, transhumanist, that's our enemy, right?
Makes sense.
We as Mankinder, and notice this is going to an unlisted YouTube. We're not promoting this big time. We're not promoting it bigly. I can't do his accent. but anyway. So not a lot of people have been seeing this. We're getting our core team really tight together and making sure that our messaging is going to be accurate. But I will say this. Behind the scenes, I and those of us Mankinders who are aligned on it can help and promote other things. Like maybe it's a tangent to go off on to save our skies. Maybe it's a tangent to go off on voluntarism. But I can't hold myself back from these things that I think are so important.
Cool.
And some Mankinders are gonna be for RFK. They are. And some of our Mankinders are for Trump. I don't think any of our Mankinders are for Biden or for the Democratic Party. That doesn't even, like, what? Just no. So that being said, I can't speak for Mankinder entirely because it's intentionally a collaborative. I am just the catalyst. I'm just the has-been wannabe rock and roll idiot. I'm just the host, right? And so it's a little bit of a well, if the volunteers remember that one. But I'll let anybody else take that question.
Personally, cool story, bro. To all the whole political system, I haven't seen anybody other than somebody like you're talking about, Rand Paul, right? There's very few. There's maybe 5 to 10 in Congress that actually care, that seem to actually stand up when it actually matters and will not pull their punches. And for me, a leader always, no matter what, does what's right for the greatest group of people in the best, most benevolent way. And I can tell you, I've rarely ever seen a leader. I've rarely ever seen an actual leader that's a politician, definitely not a bureaucrat. And I'm waiting. I'm excited. I don't want to, because it doesn't need to be me. but I'm probably going to be running for mayor of my town next year because I'm tired of this right and left bullcrap.
Yeah.
It's just getting really old. The tribalism has to stop. We have to find compromise. Sometimes you walk over here, sometimes you walk over there, but you always stay in the middle and you try and hear both sides of the story, and you only do what is the most benevolent, good thing in general for people while protecting children and, you know, our hearts and our love and our bodies and each and every single one of us. These people on the world stage, until we find out there's lizard people and we get to find out all the other weird conspiracies are true or not, they're all, until that day, they're all part of our soul collective. And it takes all of us, and we have to help each and every one of these individuals reprogram themselves to that of love, integrity, compassion, balance, understanding. And I'm just not seeing a lot of it. You know, as long as it's people, profit over people, we're going to have problems. That's where I'm at. I love the story. Cool story, bro. Trump, is he a time traveler? I don't know. I've gone down every rabbit hole. Seems like some weird stuff, but he's might be just another dude. But because of COVID and a lot of other things, I just can't trust these people, because that was one of the worst things that has ever happened to our realm and the souls here.
For me, we all have our individual upset that touches us the most. Okay, whatever the many upsets, but for me, it's the lockdowns and the forced vaccinations. There's nothing that was more coercive. And hold on, let's do a quick photo here. Everybody smile. Photo. Everybody smile. There we go. There's nothing that was more coercive, and you know, the amount of millions and millions of years of human life stolen from that, and everything, just absolutely, you know, horrifying. So being anyone that was a part of that is definitely highly suspect in my book. Anyone else quickly before we go back?
So I may be a minority here, but I do think that Trump is what people put him out to be, and I do think that
maybe
might be.
Yeah. And of course, it could be a wishful, you know, hopes, but gut feelings, what he has been put through, no one will put themselves through this without meaning what he says.
That's true.
He's a billionaire. He could be chilling right now. He's going through all this, all the lawfare, everything. Maybe it's just that he put bad people around him, you know, the first time, and
by design, though,
you know,
purposefully. I think he did it on purpose because he needed to expose them.
Perhaps, yeah.
It's like, you know, the sentence that goes around those who support him is, you can't tell people, you have to show them.
Yeah,
you have to show them, and this was a way to show the people who are still going to vote for Biden.
I made a post today. I want to share this because it was kind of meaningful for me. I'll just quickly read it if you can't hear me or can't see me. So this is what I said. I said, another woman posted, "The TV is very hypnotizing. I want everyone to be happy and to have hope. But please remember to be your own savior and to think for yourself, to think critically and question everything. Don't forget past events and connections." And what I said was, this is how I feel too. I am aware that statism is slavery, but most are not. I do not feel called to discourage or make fun of the Trump excitement people. Looks like they had a great time at the RNC. I like live events too. I'll keep talking about liberty and voluntarism without telling the statists they're stupid every day, as I see others doing. Great post Moon. You know, I'm just like, I'm not going to spend the next 4 years telling the Trump people that they're stupid. You know, there's very few people that like Biden that I like at all, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that like Trump that I love. They still believe in military and police and all this nonsense, but I'm not going to be an enemy of these people. I'm going to, with kindness, keep talking about voluntaries and, okay, guys, there's something even better, but I'm not going to be an adversary for these people.
And there's the simple fact that in those 4 years, right, regardless what we think of anybody, there were no new wars started. And that's where we have to remove what we feel about a person, right? I've been trying to have that conversation with my parents for a while now. It's like, stop feeling how you do about somebody you don't know and look at what actually happened. And you're completely right, Orit. Like, certain things have to play out for us to actually see them. And I'm hopeful. I really want to be, but I can't let myself be invested in either one of those. But we didn't have any wars, and it was messy. Within 2 weeks, people were getting hurt again. So it just shows it's the same thing over and over again with what we've had. And hopefully when he does get in, it will drastically change in a very, very good way. We have to be hopeful of that.
He was also the only one from that whole group of people that cooperated with the Epstein investigation. So there's a couple things that
economy. The economy was better.
It was everything.
Big time.
So.
Yep, I agree with all that. I'm not impressed by Vance. What I'm seeing of, his connections to Thiel
WEF
and
it could be another exposing act.
Could be.
It's not over yet.
Possible.
It's
There you
not
go.
over. Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
And Orit is born in Israel, trained
Shalom.
in the shamanic Peruvian tradition, and she's had to come to an awareness of the dastardly behaviors of Netanyahu's
goodness gracious
administration, and so she's on the right side of that topic, and that was
more than that
for her to swallow.
It's more than that. I had to come to terms with the fact that Israel was. I had to come to terms with the fact that Israel was established or built on a set of lies.
Yeah.
And we were lied to all through school and everything. My military service, which everyone in Israel has to do, it was all lies and lies and more lies. That's all those cultural conditionings that happened over the years. And I'm not young, I'm older than Michael. So it's a lot to digest. A lot.
Well, Michael, one thing that we're going to need for whatever's coming next is to be strong and healthy. So let me quickly just share what I do, in case you guys know anybody that needs some help, because who knows, we might have to take off on foot, you guys, sometime. You never know. All this craziness. So I'm an online strength and healing coach. I help voluntarists, it's right there in the name. I help voluntarists build muscle in their best healed bodies. Online coaching has not been around for 20 years, like 10 years old. And we're able to deliver a lot of value for a lower price. So it's 1/3 of the price of in-person training for 3 times the value, because you get all your workouts through an app. You get your nutrition dialed in. That's a huge thing for people, hitting your macros, eating the same amount of calories every day, getting the nutrition right. And then you get daily accountability. And then my group of voluntarist champions, all my students, is called the Greek Physique Team. So we have weekly group check-in calls. It's just a great product. So if you guys know anybody that needs to get in shape, needs to be a leader for their family as we move through whatever challenges are coming up next, then please send them my way.
Yeah, you see this guy's build and that of his students. It's phenomenal. Is there a website, Adam?
There's not, but it's just my Facebook, which is Adam N Williams.
We see it.
And then then my Instagram, all one word, Adam N Williams. So
beautiful. Yeah. Anybody got specific questions for Adam?
What do you think of rebounding?
Rebounding is great. I'm a fan. You're talking about on the trampoline, right? Yeah. I was a gymnast for many years, so I love all gymnastic stuff related. Rebounding is great. Anything In addition to your strength training, you need to be lifting weights or doing body weight strength training, resistance training first, nutrition second, sleep third, 7 hours a day minimum, 8 is preferable. Then natural healing regimens, teach all the natural healing regimens. I've tested over 100 on myself over the years. And then fifth, which you just mentioned, anything to move your body that you enjoy, whether it is assault bike, which is the bike with the fan on the front, or hot yoga, or yin yoga, or swimming, or anything to move your body that you enjoy, that works. And rebounding has some nice activation and power building stuff to it. So yes, I think was there a question in the chat here? No, but I saw one.
It's a tangent we will cover shortly.
Okay, cool.
And how would you envision popularizing voluntarism? What's on your wish list?
Well, did you guys watch Jones Plantation yet? Larkin Rose's movie?
I have not seen the whole film, I'll be honest with you.
Cool. So having that movie get out and having people watch that, having more viral content from the philosophy, having more examples of people who can communicate with all different kinds of people, not be so angry, not be so confrontational like some of the other leaders, like the two biggest leaders, that are there. And I think it's grassroots. I mean, it's the same answer as how did I become a voluntarist? I had individual people talking to me about it. I watched some content, then I wanted to read more content. I read books, then I saw videos, then I went to conferences. I don't know another way, because the whole philosophy is about not forcing, right? So how can we force people to be voluntarists? We can invite them, inspire them. I think just having more inspirational leaders is how we get there. I don't know how to make it go faster. I mean, the information's out there, for us to have a voluntary world tomorrow, but it's not happening tomorrow.
Now, you would say you've got a good rapport with Larkin and Carrie currently, both, right?
Yeah, well, Carrie, I can get a hold of when I can get a hold of her. Then
You've been
she's
out of
not,
touch for a while.
Yeah, I've been out of touch for a
busy.
while, but she's busy. She's not like all responsive on Facebook like Larkin is. I just had a video call with Larkin a couple weeks ago. So and Amanda, his wife, he and I will be commenting on a post together every 3 days. So yeah, I can get a hold of Larkin. Carrie less so, but I'm real tight with her ex. So yeah, I can get a hold of Carrie. I was just I didn't finish reaching out to her the other day, but she was just on my mind.
And do you think you would try with Mark or not right now?
Yeah, Mark and I have Mark and I have when I was at Acapulco 2018, I mean, I've been to like 3 or 4 of Mark's events, okay, since 2013, because I lived in Connecticut and he was up in that area. So I've seen him speak multiple times. He was the first person that kind of got me really questioning NASA. He has a presentation on all the space stuff in NASA. It's wild, dude, what he presents. Like it's in Latin, like we could tell you, but we have to kill you. It's right in there, man. So at Acapulco 2018, at the Ron Paul dinner, because he was late getting down there, I just hear this voice behind me. It's Adam. And then, Mark, what's up, man? He knows who I am. And he said he was going to come to my speech. Didn't make it. He was jet lagged. And so I did the compassion exercise with him, which is an avatar tool. So I sat him down for the compassion exercise and I did it with him. He had lost someone recently and it touched him. So yeah, Mark is just very difficult to get a hold of. But again, because I know everybody in this movement for the most part, I know people who can get a hold of him. So yeah, can work on that.
Well, if you would let them know, and David too, And
Yeah.
that this guy wants to put together a brainstorming team.
Yeah.
To empower everybody, to make sure
Sure.
that everybody
No,
gets credit.
I like the feel of this group, and
You
this is
know?
exactly what we need more of, more high level stuff, people touching different outlets. I don't know the person you guys were talking about earlier. You said Jerry. What was the guy's name? From the beginning of the call, the guy with the podcast. That
Oh,
Chris,
Jesse Hal.
Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, I don't even know who that is. So like, yeah, this is what we need. We need people that have connections here and there, and then go, blah, blah, blah. Just, yeah, that's what we need to do.
Have you connected much with Derek Bros and John Bush, FreedomCells?
Not a ton. I've met Derek Bros at Acapulco. I don't know that I've met John. I've coached his ex-wife in my online fitness business, but I speak with John on posts, and Derek and I are cordial. I don't have a strong relationship with him though.
Chris was just at the Exit and Build land summit in Bastrop, Texas.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know,
a month or two ago, and they communicated a good deal, and so we've been.
I know John's been doing
rapport,
I know John's been doing much better in his prosperity over these last years. He was in the broke situation, like a lot of voluntarists. That's another big thing, is we got to get more prosperous voluntarists, because there's too many people in the community that are principled but broke, and we need money to execute things. And that's a tough one for some people, because they just feel so grossed out by the financial system. They know how it works. They're just like, money, like they just kind of hate money. But it's like, guys, like we gotta. it's your money is your energy right now, and we gotta have resources if we're going to advance these principles. So it's important. So I know John's been doing well with that, as far as I know.
There's also been a lot of solipsism amongst our truther associates.
I don't know that word. I love new words. What's that?
Selfishness.
Sorry?
Selfishness.
Oh, yeah.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah.
That's
changing.
I've got the real sauce, and all these other guys are liars. And that just gets confusing to the general public. I mean, you never hear Ford saying, "Our cars work and none of the other cars work."
Yeah.
Like, what? That can't be right.
I'm seeing more people that have a problem and they post a GoFundMe and people help them. I'm seeing more of that these days.
Good. Well, you're manifesting the right kind of energy. That's why I wanted to talk to you. I'm so. What was that? You had some. There was I heard the story. Refresh my memory, and tell the rest of us about it. Where you posted some picture and it had to do with your engagement or something, and then it went viral in the wrong way, and you had to diffuse it, and you went individually on every post. You're just so gracious with stuff. I could tell.
Thanks, man.
Like, this
I
is
appreciate
the guy
it, bro.
I want to talk to.
I really appreciate having me on here and getting to connect with you guys. I can see that the other gentlemen like nodding and participating with what I'm saying, even if you guys aren't talking right now. So I appreciate being here with you gentlemen and lady who was here. So posted on both Instagram and Facebook the picture of my chocolate hand and her vanilla hand with her engagement ring last February 2023. It's 3 days after she arrived in the country, and she was jet lagged. We went to a nice restaurant here in Sarasota. Posted the video of the engagement on Facebook, where everyone knows us, and didn't post it on Instagram. Posted on Facebook, and so it was just very sweet. It was 200 compliments and 300 likes, just like any of my normal popular posts. I have I've been doing Facebook for a long time, a lot of credibility, a lot of kind of love and appreciation there. And I've been sharing our long distance love story for years, so people are like invested in it and just supporting us. So then last like August or September, I shared the video on Instagram that was wild. So to tell you what the video is, I had been hit by a car and had a broken ankle, and so I had a cast on. So I'm wearing cargo pants and a shirt and a jacket, which is not like a normal outfit, but I had a cast on, and I got crutches, and I recruited the bartender to film the proposal when I went to the bathroom. The bathroom's upstairs, another floor. I'm on crutches, took a while, and so she was on her phone when I came back to the table. And the video just starts when I'm sliding across the table to get down on my knee. She didn't see me come back to the table. She didn't hear me, and she didn't notice that I was there. So I'm in front of her. She's still on her phone, and I'm down on one knee with, waiting for her to notice that I'm there. The lady at the back of the picture, it sees everything at the next table, and she's just waiting with these huge eyes. And then she still just did not notice. I waited for several seconds. I finally said hello, and then she looks up. She puts the phone down, and I say I say my proposal. She that part's not audible in the video. She says yes, and then, unlike some of these American girls on Instagram, she doesn't flip over the table. Oh, wild. She's a Dutch woman. They are not so expressive like American people. They don't start screaming and go crazy when they get proposed to. So, and I'm trying not to fall over with my broken ankle when I get up. So I'm limping, and I just give her a kiss. She doesn't stand because that's not needed in her culture. The restaurant now starts figuring out what's going on. People start clapping. So instead of putting the ring on her finger, I let her digest one thing at a time because she does not move as fast as I do. So I just sit down with the ring there. I say bye, and the video ends. Dude, this video on Instagram got shared 44,000 times around the world. 7 million views. Okay, for about 2 weeks, every 10 seconds, some new horrible person came in to say, she's for the streets, leave her. She's texting the other nigga. Why she's on Tinder. Why is her phone under the table? Why are you dressed like Mr. Mosby? I'm like, who's Mr. Mosby? Just like completely wild, nonstop. And then a few was like, wait, like this looks really beautiful, you guys. Like, what's the issue here? Like, why are you guys like this? It was nonstop. Okay. So, and it was very difficult for Lota because she's not used to attention like that at all. But what I did was, it was a battle between good and evil, and they were not going to ruin my video. So I deleted and blocked every motherfucker who did that. It took me 2 weeks, all nonstop, delete, block, delete, block, delete, block. I responded to, there was comments with 10,000 likes on the comment, asking mostly being kind, but asking a question like, but why? I don't understand, why was she on her phone? And because I just came back from the bathroom, dude, and she didn't notice. She's like, now I understand. Thanks for clearing that up. It was all in the story. It was all in the written part of it, but people don't read that. And so I left a few of those there and answered them, but I just deleted everything else. Took forever, but now it's still there, and it's 7 million views, and it's like 3,500 comments, and there's all congratulations because I deleted all the bad ones. And I got 2,500 more followers. I went from 5,000 to 7,500, I think, with that. And I created several new students, and it was just wild. So it was a crazy experience. But yeah, I just decided to just defend my wife's honor in the comments, and people were blown away. They're like, man, this guy loves this woman, man. Like one woman, she said, I need a man to defend me like you defend your wife's reaction to your proposal. 20,000 likes, so that's what happened.
2 weeks of your life spent on that. That's insane. And I would do the exact same thing too. You got to stand up for yourself and your love, man.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah, man. No, I'm not gonna delete it because F you, man. Gone. Block, delete.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so silly that people are not open to notice differences in cultures.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
There was a few people that said, "Stop the race mixing." There was comments like that too.
Oh,
Yeah, people said that. It was, dude, everything you could imagine, dude. Like, but there's so many wonderful comments. People like coming from a Dutch girl here. This is exactly how we are. We don't scream. We don't flip over the table. We're totally normal. There was a bunch of Brazilian people that got the video. They're like phlegmatica, because phlegmatica is like one of the personality types that's very internal. They celebrate on the inside. So people shared their stories of dropping the ring when they proposed and panic, but then they came back up with it. Everybody cheered, and yeah, it was wild.
That's a loss. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful.
Sure, brother. Thank you for appreciating it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations. It's a master class in social media management.
Can everyone who's still here, can you guys put your Facebooks in the chat, and I'll add you guys. If you just,
I'll do it
online.
online.
You do it? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
okay,
I'll do
cool.
it
You got that for me.
I'll tag everybody for sure.
Cool, great. Okay, great.
I already sent you a request for friendship.
All right, awesome. Great.
In fact, if you like, I'll add you to our private chat.
Add me to everything, bro. This is already I can feel this is one of my new sangas. You got who knows what the word sang? You taught me a new word today. Who knows what the word sanga means? S-A-N-G-A. What does sanga mean?
I don't
like
know
a
that.
tribe.
Sanga is a spiritual community, a tribe. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a group, right? It's a group.
Yeah, spiritual community.
Group. Yeah.
Oh, here's one question I love to ask people, for everybody, even you, Angela, if you're still there.
I'm still here.
Okay, then you go first. What's your definition of the word spirituality?
Oh my goodness gracious, honey, you have asked the wrong person, okay?
Go ahead,
I live in different realms. I live in way different realms than most people do. I cross realms every
matter.
day. I travel.
What do you think it means?
Spirituality, oh my goodness gracious. It's the God within. To put it simple, it's God within.
Wonderful, great. Next person.
I would say whatever makes you feel more connected to yourself and the all that is around you.
Wonderful. Next person.
A direct connection to Creator, all there is, whatever you want to call it.
Wonderful. Next person.
Mm-hmm.
It's our connection with the
What is it, Chris?
connection with the divine.
Connection with the divine. Yes, sir. And Michael.
Well, interestingly enough, the word spirit comes from breath.
Breath.
It's to breathe.
Okay.
And so it's spirituality is our essence. It's that which empowers us and inflates us and connects us. It is that which is all.
Wonderful. My favorite definition works with everything you guys said, which is service to others. Spirituality.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Well, and that
I
is.
love it, but you have to have a relationship with yourself and the Creator to really be in service.
100%. You have to be a friend to yourself before you can be a friend to others. Absolutely.
Yep.
It's implied,
Well,
but yes.
If it's service to all, then that includes self.
Sure.
True. Yep.
Nailed it.
And that really is a mankinder vision. So
awesome, man. This has been great. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. Look forward to so this is your normal time. It's Fridays at 6 Eastern.
Yeah,
okay.
we started this go around, and I've been at this for years. But we started this Friday thing on March 1st.
This year.
Yep.
Cool.
And
you had invited me before.
You know, the way that I first discovered you, for anyone who doesn't know, is through Sheena Alexandra.
Yeah,
who was one of my first five or six mankinders.
Yes,
she
cool.
is.
She's a wonderful woman.
She is a A force of nature. Holy cow.
Absolutely. Yeah. She's been
She
through a lot.
interviewed you some time ago.
Yeah, yes. It's been a while. Lovely
So
lady.
I was delighted to watch you and hear you and just capture your energy through that interview. And she was very fearlessly saying anarchy, and I'm like, that's a tricky word.
Yeah, I say voluntarism all the time now because it's just doesn't have. I don't have to erase what people think about anarchy with it.
Right.
But it also works. But.
I really like the word voluntarism because
Yeah.
it's a positive thing. I mean, nobody can find a negative connotation to
There's
that.
nothing negative with it.
No, not until
Nothing.
unless the CIA tries to spin it.
No, I mean, it's like, is someone gonna say that they don't like consent? I mean, how are you gonna say that? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you don't like free will. I mean,
You don't like freedom and liberty. I mean, consent. That's the easiest thing. Like, you don't like consent. Like.
Yeah. Similarly, it took me the first 4 months of 2019 looking and searching and meditating for what's our brand. What's the one thing that we all have in common, and to combine mankind with being kinder.
Shit.
That, to me, that was, I'm like, really? Nobody's using that? Okay, thank you. I get the message.
So mankinder. That's like no one. That's like yours. Like
Yeah.
It's not out there. Wow, cool.
Yeah.
You're not getting it trademarked, are you? No.
I have not tried to.
Okay, but you have never seen it. You have never seen it anywhere else.
I Googled around, man.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, that's
not
cool.
in use.
Yeah,
Not in use.
very cool. I like it.
Jack.
Hey, Michael, in case you're curious, I found out some information on trademarking. I can let you know about that later.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay.
I've asked many people, what's the truther version, the PMA version, et cetera, of trademarking, and just because going through the usual government agencies doesn't seem like that would be the right way to do it. But I haven't quite nailed the right answer.
No, so the lights up.
yeah, the main thing is having the website asmankinder.net. That gives you a lot of first rights.
Right.
And
Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah. Adam, have you delved into the PMA realm? And I'll ask that first. The Private Membership
PMA.
Association.
No, what's that?
So that Mankinder is a 508c1a church ministry.
Oh, okay.
So I started learning about that in early 2021
There we go.
only, and so that is one of the main ways that you can get out of what I call the traps of tyranny, which is that you're not a business. As soon as you're a business, you're licensed by the state.
Right.
But if you're a ministry or an association, and if
501c.
you file as a 508c1a, because the 501c3, that is under the thumb of the state, and that's a large part of the reasoning why so many churches were not speaking against the repressions, because they had their 501c3 and they weren't supposed to talk politics. Now they may have been ill-advised, but one thing they were ill-advised by their tax attorneys, accountants, and whatever, is to even file as a 501c3 at all, because they never had to. As a church, you don't even have to file a 508c1a for that matter.
I'm familiar with my friends who
know that.
I'm familiar with my friends who've done it. I haven't personally done it for anything I've been involved with, but one area that I'm very interested in that I haven't taken any steps for is like this the straw man stuff, like getting away from all your slavery stuff with the Social Security numbers and birth certificate and that whole system. I know some people have done some work on that and are teaching others. I haven't gotten into it yet, but that sounds very interesting as well.
Yeah, there's becoming a national. That's one stage, but then even some that are revoking their citizenship or deactivating their driver's license because you shouldn't need to be licensed. But then there's the financial aspects of it, of tapping into, as you're saying, the value of your straw man. And that's 1099s and coupons and securities and bonds and all that kind of stuff. I don't even have the right blanket term for what that's called. I keep asking so we can, simplify the message.
Yeah.
Because there's so many hucksters in every one of these fields.
Yeah.
It's just.
Do you know my friend Angelo Rosati? Do you know him?
No.
I should connect you guys. He's done a lot of work on it, and he's a man of integrity. You would also really like my friend Sean King. He's an anarchist. He's off the grid. He doesn't do social media, but he's an anarchist here in Sarasota. He was my in-person student. Met him through Angela, who invited me. You know Darcy Van Orden, right? Out of Utah. You know Darcy? Okay, I'll give you some new names for you to connect with. And so,
awesome.
Yeah, it was cool because those Angelo and Sean were at Acapulco 2018 and like at my speech, but we had never met. So pretty cool.
What was the topic of your speech, by the way?
So 2017 was What Brings Peace. You would like to watch that one. My 2018 wasn't as good. It was called What Brings Courage. So yeah. Then actually one more event. I've been to the Midwest Peace and Liberty Festival in Michigan. That's a really good one. And my speech then was called What Brings Alignment. So it's always some different virtue that I'm speaking about when I talk on stage. But it's been a few years now.
Really crucial topics. And being a absolutely not muscular guy, I really respect you guys who are and who have really empowered the divine masculine.
It's not too late.
Especially in a graceful way. Oh, I know. Absolutely. I always figured I would start late and be a real surprise and go, oh my gosh, because I haven't broken anything. It's easy. I'm in fine health.
We can talk about it.
So it can be really interesting. The guys that kept their gyms open. Ian Smith. Ian
Smith. Ian Smith.
New Jersey.
I speak to him just on his Instagram stories. Like he respond to my comment.
Cool.
I don't know him personally, but I have a lot of respect. He's now gone very deep on the Jews. Everything's about the Jews now with him.
Yeah, I did notice that.
That's been a recent shift. I don't like that as much. I mean, there's obviously some awful stuff with Zionism and stuff like that, but it's like not all the Jews, But I totally respect what he did with the gyms.
Maybe some guys just get a little bit too much adrenaline or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And there's one or two guys in San Diego too who kept their gyms open.
Cool.
And but similarly, a little bit too aggro.
Yeah. It's important to be able to communicate with all different kinds of people.
Yeah. Orit, you had a thought?
Yeah, about the Jews, Zionists. So, of course, I was raised as a Zionist, right? Because that's Israel. I grew up in an atheist home, so no connection to God or spirituality or Judaism per se, right? But it's really, really important, in my opinion, to make the difference, to decipher between Jews and Zionists. Because not all Jews are Zionists. There are actually large groups of Jewish people who were and are against the state of Israel, who are against founding Israel. My guess is that they saw the truth. Yeah. They knew how Israel was founded.
There's a bunch, yeah.
Yeah, so it's important to make the distinction between Jews and Zionists.
I just made a post about that too the other day because I met a lovely girl in my community walking her dog named
Oh, I
Offrey.
saw that, but you called her a
Offrey.
chick. That's
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
yeah.
playful. And I said, are you from Haifa? She said, yes. I've never been to Israel, but I'm good at guessing things. So yeah. I just said there's a difference between Jews and Zionists. Just saying.
It's a pretty high name of free. So yeah.
Didn't even know that. I was just here's my trick connecting with strangers. When you know, if you're good at geography like I am, you should know the names of the 3 biggest cities. So don't guess the biggest city, because that's obvious. So you meet someone from South Africa. So are you from Durban or from Cape Town? Yeah, I'm from Durban. They freak out. They're like, wow, like, how'd you guess that? Because if they're from Johannesburg, they're like, no, I'm from Jaybird. So that's just a trick I always do. And people are like, oh my, yeah, I'm from Wrocław, whatever. So.
You do get around, brother.
Yeah, man. I can say hello in 20 languages, bro.
Oh my God. Wow.
I got to give you guys my 5-minute warning. I'll do my gym beforehand next time, but I got to take my wife to the gym. So I got 4 to 5 minutes left. Yeah.
I think we've covered as much as we possibly can today, brother.
Guys, it was great. Really lovely to meet all you guys, Mr. Soon-to-be Mayor. I could be mayor. You know what movie that's from? That's from Goldie from Back to the Future. I will clean up this town. That's you. And Christopher and I can't see your name. Ornit, and Angela, and then Michael. Yeah, everybody. So just. Again, thank you guys for having me here and having me be the focus. And this seems like like I said, there's so many people trying to get my attention. Adam, do this with me. Adam, do that. It's just like, dude, I'm just like, do you need help growing your online business? No, I have a coach. Like, Adam, sell this with me. No. I just want to get people in shape and talk about voluntarism. I want to get people in shape and talk about voluntarism. That's it. But something like this, the way you guys have the structure, we're gonna get the message out more. We gotta it's kind of cool. You guys said you have not been promoting this yet. You're like, want to get it tight before you start broadcasting, and because it's good. We noticed that with our Facebook lives, the Sport Coat Symposium. Now we have an agenda for each. We have the guests know how much time for each one. Keep it tight. Because when it's live, you want to have a nice, clear, tight, situation. So again, guys, thanks all of you, and I'll put this in my calendar for Fridays at 9.
Yay!
Lovely having you.
Thank you very much, Adam.
My pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
I look forward to connecting with you guys once I get your info. Bye, Michael.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you, brother.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
He's
Very
a good
cool
man.
guy. Yes.
Good man.
So we can end now.
On that note, I actually do. I've got to leave in like an hour and a half, and I still have to put music in my ears. So I love you all.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. It was good to get in there. Yeah, I got to play at 12:30 tonight, and I got a 2-hour drive. So all kinds of fun stuff still going on.
Dude,
but I wanted to be here. I've been so out of the loop. So here we are.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you keep showing up, given your schedule and your travels.
And it just keeps on heating up. So I'll be here on Sunday for a little bit too. I'll be back then. So love you all. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful night.
We'll have more then.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ow! Phenomenal. What a blessing. What a blessing each of you is. So, Christopher, you had that monthly meeting of that one group. How are you feeling about their possible integration with what we're doing?
Which group? There's several groups that I don't know which one you're talking about or referring to.
Cool. Well, then whatever. There was one that we texted about. Yeah, I think you were busy. You were busy Sunday or something because you had a meeting with them. Los Angeles group.
Yeah, on Sundays, once a month, there's a group called Uprising Together. So that's the one you were talking about. And Joyce has been there a number of times, so she's kind of a regular, so she knows a lot about it. Some of the people there are kind of like, Trump haters and a little bit, uh, a little bit woke. But there's other people there who are on board. So it's not an organization I would say we can have any direct affiliation with, but individual members there. I think there are some who we could invite to be on and talk about what they're doing.
Yeah, that's how it is, right?
Yeah, they've got a little bit of the DEI stuff going, and okay, diversity is great, but it's not the main thing, And if you have diversity but you don't have freedom, you don't have anything. If you have freedom, then you could add on diversity, and you can do it in a way that feels free, like Adam was talking about, for instance. Make it voluntary, and really make it in such a way that there's egalitarianism, where people feel like they belong and want to contribute, rather than there's this kind of need to reach certain quotas based on skin color or gender or something of that nature. And I think people now finally are starting to realize that all across America, that, a lot of these ultra-left, borderline socialist, communist type of goals for creating the perfect society are just ways to control people in order to get them to comply with certain larger agendas that are oftentimes kept in secret, like with what the UN is doing. So, a lot of people pick up on that, and, they look at the results of some of these things. There's a lot of lawsuits going on right now. For instance, James O'Keefe uncovered this video that the heads of Microsoft, I think it was Microsoft, that were creating these diversity profiles in order to weed out white men and replace them with, women of color and things of that nature. And not based on merit, based simply on, getting the numbers up so that we look better, in terms of our DEI corporate profile. So the word's getting out, and people are boycotting a lot of these things. There's a big pushback going on now in California with what's happening with this recently passed and recently signed bill that would basically keep hidden anything that the teachers would have on a student that would be affirming their gender and keeping it from the parent.
Yeah, that's what, AB 1955 or something.
Yeah.
And what stage is that at? Has that been fully passed by everybody now?
Yeah, and it's been signed by Governor Newsom.
Yeah, and what's neat about that is that it probably prevents him from being a successful presidential candidate.
Yeah, that's not going to fly with most Americans across the country. Plus many other things. Kevin Kiley has been, dogging him in Congress on and on and on about all the ridiculous things that
Right.
Governor Newsom has been trying to mandate for the state of California, which is causing all kinds of budget crisis and, people leaving the state. And of course, now Elon Musk has decided
Mm-hmm.
the remainder of his corporate headquarters to move it all to Texas.
Mm-hmm. And this is where I really think we got to get a simplified strategy that we know works to protect the average man or woman from even having to worry about that stuff if we can make the point that your jurisdiction does not apply. I'm not in your jurisdiction. But I don't know enough about that law in terms of what do you have to do? Do you have to be a national? Do you have to, send a letter to this or that or whatever?
Well, it's a mind shift. When Adam was speaking about some of these ways in which to get the word out about what voluntarism is, things like common law, I've seen some great animations that have really spelled it out, like 7-minute animations. And I could look for them again and find them and send them to you. And you could repost them.
Please, if you can just help me make a list like you do as a producer, as an editor,
Sure.
of any topic. If we start thinking like we're a production company and we need to get the message out, what are our sources? You've probably seen so much stuff. Have you been like keeping boatloads of bookmarks or file folders full of videos or what?
Oh yeah, all that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I've got 2 computers now because one of them is obsolete, but I still need it because it runs programs that my newer computer won't run.
Right.
My newer Mac. Anyway, yeah, I can put together something like that because animations are really good because you don't
Oh yeah,
you don't
I'm
get
with you.
you can really illustrate it, the concepts in such plain ways, simple, like you're saying, simple. When you said simple, getting the simple things out there to people, it really helps to give people who are, for instance, like myself, who are very image oriented.
Yep. Most people are.
Yeah, most people are. Some people learn tactically or they learn through sound, but you could do that with animation as well. All animation has to have good quality sound.
Yep.
So, and you could, there's simple animation forms that are out there that aren't that complex. They're just 2D animations. So
and now with AI, and there's probably 10-year-olds that have mastered that stuff better than you or I ever will. So as we get this act together with Renette, because I'm absolutely convinced. Now I'm certain she and I have exactly the right rapport that's been necessary. I wasn't quite sure because I didn't want to push her too much, and I wasn't always getting response. But we exchanged some little text messages this week that just nailed some stuff. It's as simple as this. I wanted to be able to post onto her Substack notification that we had chosen a date to launch the campaign and that there's a Telegram group, because only 2 people from her call joined the Telegram group. So there's 4 of us, her and me and 2 people. And I'm like, this is embarrassing.
Right.
How are we going to run a campaign with 4 people? I got to get a few more people.
Yeah.
Let's see if she'll let me do this. And she said, yeah, that looks great. Do it. Go ahead. And it's just what's so genial. So, it's like my buddy who I hug with, and I'm like, that's what I need. to feel that camaraderie, like we're on the same page. I'm not waiting and wondering and can I, should I, are we going to do this? Am I stepping on anybody's toes? And now it's like, okay, yeah, we're really doing this. So in terms of, taking that saveourskies.org campaign and knocking it out of the park, again, it won't necessarily be the Mankinder project. Just Mankinder is going to be in the background of it. But that's going to give us connection to every influencer she knows, because that's my job. I got to pull them all together and get her interviews with Jesse and get her on with this person, that person. I'm like, sweetie, you got to give me your calendar. You got to give me your public calendar so I know when you're open so I can book you. Okay. I'm sure, that's going to be the, next things coming up. Like I got to figure out with her, how do you manage your database? Where do you keep all your contacts? Because I can't wait for her to message Naomi Wolf and Peggy Hall and all everybody. What she did with Melissa Grace. Melissa Grace had her own email address that was like Renette Senum for governor or whatever at gmail.com or something, right? So it looks like an official thing, but it was really Melissa because she was her campaign manager. So I'll probably do something like that with her, but.
Can you take me off the main screen while you're talking?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I have this habit of keeping myself small.
Screen so often, and I'm behind, like you, I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy too, so I don't.
I know. Speaking of which, your microphone volume could use boosting. So when like you're with Jesse, when I'm presuming I'm going to be editing pieces of that, I'm going to have to boost you way up. You may want to consider getting some kind of little microphone or stand on a desk or whatever, just so you can be a little louder.
It's complicated.
I'm sure.
I have a soft voice to begin with. I
know. It's lovely that you're soft-spoken and relaxed. But
there's just limited. I've got the mic volume turned all the way up.
I believe you.
So I don't know.
But that's the built-in microphone that's not right next to your mouth like mine is.
No, but see, I have to be like this in order.
Yeah, I know. That sounds great.
I know, but I don't like. That's
not a good look. No. It's not a good look.
I know.
But you could get a plug-in microphone, a USB microphone or something like that.
I could, amongst many other things that I have to do to go out and buy and.
I know.
How to make my life better right now.
The last thing I want to do is be a nudge, be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. You're going to have to just ride the volume, buddy.
I got you. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming our way. This is the time when it's going to kick up.
Well, getting back to what you were saying there about the fact that we need to have a simple way in which to get normies, ordinary people, to feel like they're not just kind of slaves to the system.
Right.
I've thought of many ways to do that, but the trouble is that the people have to be ready. They have to be ready for that. So it's not so much that we need to educate them at this point in time, but we do need to prepare them.
Right.
And part of what's happening now is that the greater system is falling apart. And that's when we have the best opportunity to prepare people, because they're now more and more people now looking for alternatives to a crumbling system that they no longer feel comfortable with. So they're looking for alternatives. Unfortunately, within the national movement, there are like 4 or 5 different groups all saying similar things, but not all on the same page with one another. So and I don't know what to do about that.
What groups are you thinking of?
Well, there's David Straight, there's Anna von Reich, there's this other new one I just found out about. I don't even remember what the name is, but I heard about him on the SGT report, and there's there's one. I keep running across them, you know, and
Is it Brandon? What one stupid fuck?
no, I've heard of that too.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, the trouble is that it's like if you had 6 different bitcoins out there. You don't have 6 different bitcoins. You have one Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is going like crazy, because they're in the act of consolidating everything into that one format, on the blockchain. And it's unique compared to all the other cryptos. So, and it's going like gangbusters right now. Had Trump been assassinated, it might not be. It might have been tanked. But now Trump is pledging not to issue the CBDCs when he gets elected, and that's going to make room for a lot of Bitcoin opportunities to come into play.
Did you see the put option or whatever? But
Yeah,
yeah,
that
against Truth Social.
right.
Yeah, it's pretty dodgy.
Yeah, that there's going to be some investigation into that. Yeah, the whole Black Ops, intelligence services and all the cabal's goons out there. They're making mistakes. They're missing their marks. They're not, able to get enough money. They're falling apart. And it's really important that we look at real viable alternatives for people to step into. And to me, like, Larkin Rose has done some good things in alerting people to the whole concept of what common law is about. When you bring people back to an understanding of common law, then that switches everything. They are no longer seeing themselves as subjects of, this runaway status type of corporatist type of world, where they can never get ahead, where they can never be in charge even of their own children or their own lives. So the common law brings it all back home. And one of the things I learned a long time ago in my war tax resistance was that common law has never been taken off the books and never can be, because of the way our legal history has been structured. So when you get people back to realizing that common law is still in effect, and here's where it applies, here's where it doesn't apply, what the difference is between common law and admiralty law, then people can start really understanding how this whole fraud is perpetrated on us, the American people. So that, to me, happened years before I ever even found out about the American National Movement. And I'm not a genius, I don't know, magna cum laude type of achievements or anything like that.
You're a very thorough researcher, though. You write very well.
Yeah.
You're way smarter than the average bear. I was listening to Derek Brose talk. He did a live, and I posted a comment on that because I was watching live.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "You're a lot smarter than the available audience."
Mm-hmm.
I think guys like him and you and Renette forget who you're talking to.
Right.
Most of the people that are hearing you are like nodding and trying to keep up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky because, in an online situation, you don't know who your audience is. Um, and because of that, there's no interactive capability. So we need to develop a better understanding of how to attract the audience that we want to reach, even if it's smaller. But
So one of the great keys, I'm absolutely convinced, is Michelle Rooney.
Mhm.
I felt that way when I first met her at Living Joy Homestead, which she and I are estimating. I guess it was probably because I didn't scroll back to figure it out, but I think that was last August.
Okay.
That's when Gathering of the Tribes started doing stuff there.
Person, yeah.
And she just blew me away with her first conversation. I was like, oh my God, this woman really is experienced and wise.
Yeah.
And so, last Friday when I said to her, hey, I'd really like to do the Mark Dice thing, except with 2 people. And instead of embarrassing people, empowering them and make it fun.
Mm.
And that she wanted to do that with me. I was like, don't pinch me. Don't wake me up. Please, let me not screw this up. Because I lost 2 or 3 days just being heartbroken of Brittany Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
She hasn't even said why. She just suddenly, I noticed she left 2 of our chat groups. I sent her a message and she wrote back saying, yeah, I'm not currently interested in collaboration. I'm like, huh? So, Angela, give us a thumbs up or something like that if you're hearing, because I'd like your opinion on something, and Orit too, because either or both of you may have fallen asleep or.
No, I'm here. I'm just eating.
I'm still here too. I just got customers.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm fully here. I'm just eating a big salad.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As long as you can hear me, here's my suggestion. And I think Francis will join in on this too. Is that I would like you ladies to send a letter to Brittany Johnson saying, we're so disappointed to see you go. We still want to promote you. We think you're wonderful. We need to be circumspect. And if Michael did something that is tawdry or inappropriate, you uncovered something, if he said or did anything to you, or you Googled around and found something bad, would you, can you please talk about it with us? Because we're about to really expand. And if Michael needs to be removed from Mankinder, then we need to do that because the mission is more important than Michael. And anything she says, I would love to know. Maybe she, because I know if you Google around, there's a whole bunch of stupid stuff that I've done in my life. Absolutely. I'll own that.
Well, Michael, why are you entertaining the thought that it may have been something you did?
It has to be something I did.
No, it doesn't.
I guess it's possible that it's something going on in her life, but I know that she's continuing. Yeah. I know she's continuing her mission and her business. And I think we should know what incompatibility there is, because she seemed to be very enthusiastic about every contribution and all the people I introduced to her. And I am not only did she leave conversation groups that I had established with her, but I can't even see her Facebook group for navigating the private realm. So I was booted out of that. And I had created a bunch of content in there, shared it with folks. We were conversing on it. And I bet you all of y'all that may have joined that group are also probably kicked out.
Let me check.
So what the heck is that about? What did we do?
What's the name of her group?
Navigating the Private Realm. And a whole bunch more words, PMA, blah, 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 blah. But if you look on Facebook for Navigating the Private Realm, and you had, or I could send you the link to it.
No, I'm still there. Yeah, I did join. I'm still there.
Oh, you're still in it.
And I'm
Yeah.
there. Steve Farmer is still there.
Still there. You are there.
All right.
Azimuth is there.
Azimuth is there. Angela is there, I think.
Grace is
Interesting.
there. Heidi is
Interesting. Okay. So it's just me. I'm the bad guy. Again.
Francis is
It's not the first time I've been the bad guy.
But
What
why?
the hell did I do? I don't know. I have
So
no idea.
so if I am to write to her, how do you suggest to do it? Through Facebook Messenger?
Through an email. For
Email.
nice professional email. And I'll write a first draft, and then you ladies embellish,
Okay.
change, or hack it away. If
Okay, and
you
you
will
have-
do that, if Orit and Angela and maybe Francis also will do that and co-sign it and say, we will gang up on him and beat him bloody if he's a bad man. We need to get rid of this mofo.
Michael.
So you suggest a group letter?
Yeah.
Okay, and you have her email address because
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
think okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I'm up for it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Post of July 8th is still up on it.
Which one?
What is sociocracy?
Oh, the one that I posted? Okay. So my content hasn't been deleted. Just me. You know, maybe they figured out that I don't have money. I don't know. You know, part of her brand is gold, you know? So if I don't look like gold, which right now I don't, you know, then nobody cares if you used to be a millionaire, if you look like a needy problem case who needs to crowdfund for everything, for freaking tires. It's not a good look. I don't know.
All right. Let's move on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, just so you know, I have a moment where I don't have a customer for a minute.
Cool.
So yes, I will be more than happy to do that. I was actually had the inclination of just send Brittany a message because I still have some questions for her, and she's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So I was actually going to send her a message on Facebook the other day and see if she would be willing to answer my questions, even without, the mankinder things. But I got so exhausted the other day that I didn't send the message yet. So
All good. Any news from Amy? Has she gotten her job?
I don't know. I haven't contacted her today. She had a second interview. So hopefully she did. If not, then I bet she'll be reaching out to you.
Okay. Brilliant woman.
And yes,
Brilliant woman.
she's brilliant.
You really picked good.
Yeah, I'm very good. I'm very good.
And Steve has been having some wonderful progress in his life also. I guess he's been reconciling with his brother. He made an apology with his brother, and then his brother came out to see him and is helping him to deal with that bank fraud the Venmo fraud by which he lost $8,000.
I love Steve tremendously. He said he needs someone to talk to, so he's going to give me a call tomorrow or whatever.
Good.
I'll give him a call before I go
Good.
to work and see what's really going on. Delve into that.
And and he introduced me to two more Steves, who I
Oh my
think are
goodness.
going to be just wonderful
Hi.
for us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. On a side note, this is a little bit of a side note here of something that happened to me today.
Yeah.
The ranch over there, I got a message from that man. I sent you one of them, but he sent
Yes.
me a couple more messages apologizing very profusely because I did excellent work with his certificates and with everything that I did on the paperwork that he has his certification. So
It was going to
everything
come
that
out
he was-
eventually.
I knew it would. The truth comes out. Yay me! I'm like, I know I did everything correctly. I don't care what he says. I know what I did. So I just wanted to share that win with you guys. It's pretty amazing. He's apologized very profusely. said nothing but great things to me. So Michael, again, thank you for helping me write such an amazing letter.
Yeah,
Professional.
he is such a terrible letter writer. Oh my God, it's
Oh,
almost
something else.
incomprehensible. Oh my God, there's no way he can run that business
You
all
don't
by
know.
himself. He can't write.
Yeah, he's awful.
Oh God, but well intentioned, right? We hope. She's got to be silent.
Yeah. Well intentioned. Well intentioned.
We
Yeah,
hope.
I'm by myself in this store tonight too, so
Beautiful.
you know, it's wonderful.
You are so rock star.
Customers laughing at me. Okay, 3646. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the resting gas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uno.
Hay uno. Okay, nada.
Yeah, I do need a testimonial from you, Angela, because we're going to be
Okay,
rocking
if
very
you
soon.
if you check your email, I sent you one already.
You did?
I sent
What?
you one. I sent you a testimonial before you asked.
When?
Oh, I don't know. My third day of work.
There?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I sent you, and I sent it to you again. So,
For God's sake.
hang on a minute. I gotta do this here. So number one, prepay, and we got $50. I did send it to you. So if you want more, let me know. Oh, what the fuck is? Oh shit. Hang on a minute. I gotta stop talking to you guys. Sorry.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh, it must be this document shared with me, the mind and spirituality and nature.
There you go.
That must be it. It doesn't say testimonials. I didn't notice. What a wonderful thinker she is. It's been a lot of beautiful confluence. Yeah, thanks for sharing your perspective on Jesse. I knew we'd he was the right guy to be our first interviewer, and it's very sweet of you, Chris, to want to help him expand his reach. I completely agree.
He's doing organic gardening too.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've been watching the pictures they've been posting.
I'm telling you, you know, it's the only thing that's making me sane in this crazy time that we're in is, you know, you plant a seed, they don't all come up, some do, and the ones that do, they proliferate, give you more food and seeds, and, you know, life goes on. It's the world of nature is very consistent, whereas the world of mankind right now is very, very topsy-turvy.
But the plants are consistent, and
Yeah.
they will outgrow us all. Did you see I Am Legend with Will Smith?
No.
I actually saw that in the theater. That is one prophetic film. Oh my God, how quickly nature overgrows the world is part of what you see, as well as these crazed, cannibalistic, vampire-esque beings that are the result of genetic meddling. We found the cure for cancer. It's going great. Whoops.
Right.
It's one of those. That film had been made under a different title, the same story previously. I forget what that title was, but
Hey, Michael, you said that you have some stuff to share of your communication with Renee.
yeah, I did. If you may have missed it, but she and I were texting.
Oh, that's all good. Okay.
And so what I did is I put. I'll send you guys a link in one of our groups so you can see exactly what I did on her Substack. So I not only posted in the thread to the group, but I posted a response to each person. So everybody who commented on that particular post on our Substack, which was not many, but if they miss the meeting, then they know that there's progress, that we have determined a launch date for the campaign, the big SaveOurSkies.org campaign. I didn't say what the launch date is.
Right. Are you
But
going
I said,
to tell us?
there's a launch date. Yes, I'll tell you, but not on this recording. Ha ha.
Okay. All right.
Because some
Fair
people
enough.
have this. Because if we really play this strategically, then the launch could and maybe should come as a surprise. Just like suddenly it's everywhere. And there's been no knowledge about it, no resistance to it. What the hell is going on? I think that would be really cool. Let's see if we can make that happen for that particular date, right?
All right.
So
Awesome.
all I said on our Substack was, in case you missed it, in case you missed the meeting, we chose a launch date for the campaign, and we have a private Telegram group to coordinate. Now, of the 2 people that joined it, and I put my face on and a video in that Telegram group, and I haven't asked you guys to join it yet because I don't want to overwhelm her group with mankinders yet. I want to give them the respect of, hey, Renette, where's your people? Right? Come on, sweetie.
I get her emails, so
right.
You know, yeah. So I'm a part.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of neat to go, hey, come on, tell your people. You know, I have to tell your people, because she could have posted, hey, we've got a Telegram group now. Hey, we decided to have a launch date. She didn't. I'm like, do I have to think of all these things? Come on. Oh, God is making me a marketing guy. Okay. As long as people listen, then fine. I don't mind being the nudge, but.
Well, we all have our priorities. We all have to prioritize because there are only 24 hours in a day, and 7 to 8 of them we must spend sleeping, right?
Theoretically. And
so
she's super busy, and she is super busy and super stretched thin. And that's my job, is to do stuff somebody else didn't think of. As long as they like it and they can use it, then that's what I want to do. I want to help. So that was one big step. That means I'm the official person who is making that campaign happen.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And again, I don't know what Renette's opinion is on it, but again, I'm repeating myself. I have not seen a chemtrail, or maybe twice I've seen a chemtrail since the beginning of April here in my skies, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting, very curious.
I honestly don't study, to see what the patterns are. But
I used to notice them almost every day.
Oh.
So yeah.
I
did see clouds that looked a little bit like HAARP clouds the other day. But no chemtrails.
Well, it's possible that somebody has gotten the message. What do you think, Chris?
That there've been less. I wouldn't say no chemtrails since April, but there've been a lot less.
The world is so weird that it's possible. Any of these options are possible. We are deciding not to allow it to happen energetically, and we're stopping it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or the fact that we are organizing is scaring the dark side into not doing it in our area, so we will think that it's been reduced. Meanwhile, they're putting it somewhere else. But
Or if you go really far on the conspiracy theorist lane, Newscom is no longer in his physical form, and it's an actor.
well, I think that's been the case for a while.
Yeah.
I think I've heard he
Oh,
was replaced some time ago.
Oh yeah.
But, you know,
But who knows?
that's not the original Biden, and I think he's doing worse stuff than the first one did.
By design.
Yeah.
Have to show them.
Biden Sein.
Yeah.
By design is right. My lanterns, that guy is something else.
It's a spooky character.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
way
They're all
spooky.
spooky characters.
You know, and in my opinion, Trump's not the best either. Okay,
Right.
and he's really not. He's not. He's not the best. You know, I'm not saying that he doesn't have good points to him, but there's a lot of points to him that I can't stand behind.
No,
And that's just my opinion.
There's been a
Yeah,
bunch
so
of problems.
From my
problems,
point of
et
view,
cetera.
again, it's all purposeful.
We hope so.
Even his great support to Israel, it's all purposeful.
Yeah.
But
puts him in a-
Netanyahu is also Netanyahu 2.0 or 3.0.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So why is the war continuing? You got to show them. You have to show people the truth.
Right,
You
right,
cannot just tell them.
Right. Well, no matter what the case, mankind still needs a lot of kindness training.
Absolutely.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
They're just not well adjusted to making this a better world.
Nope. Oh, I might get some rain tonight. I'm excited. We got a storm a brewing.
I can tell you, Chris, if you want, when I see you tomorrow or otherwise, a little bit more of what I've heard from Michelle. And man,
Good.
That brilliant woman has been through the ringer, just heartbroken.
Wow.
Just really, oof. This weekend, she's with her daughter camping, or she would be with us. And 2 weeks hence, her daughter goes off to college. So there's a big space in her life that she's been feeling like such a failure in San Diego that she's been feeling like she should leave. And I said, well, I think with your experience and your connections, San Diego needs you because our world needs you. And I think this is a really powerful place to be. And I know Mankinder needs someone like you. I'm not playing it like, no, needy. But as far as focusing on her mission and her business and her personal empowerment, last night's 2-hour phone call really felt really divine. Big time. There's so much that she was trying to make happen. And she really thought that, in 2021, when everything was rushing forward, she really felt they had a power couple and they were really going to do all the great things. Nope. Anyway. I'm delighted that Nate and Lyra would like to connect with a number of content creators that come from different walks of life and specialties that would like to rally in united efforts along the lines of different topics. That's a nice post from Great Works Alliance.
Mhm.
And yeah, we can talk about that. I'll just put that up on screen for a moment with a thumbs up. And then part two being topic aligned donation drives. Not quite sure what that meant exactly. Ari gave a nice response about when her awakening started. 2010.
Which was cut to 3 different, but whatever.
Right. 2010, when she noticed that her caseload as a pediatric physical therapist was growing faster than ever before, which led to loss of trust in the medical system. And from that point, everything pointed to government corruption.
I'm gonna have to sign off. Good night.
Go get them. Thanks, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you soon, Chris.
See you soon, Chris.
He doesn't even wait for us to say goodbye.
To say goodbye. I know. He's like, I'm out of here.
There may have been an urgent need. Something may have been
It
ringing.
must have been. That's funny.
Something was ringing some bells over there.
That's funny.
All good.
It's okay. Goodness
So
gracious.
what time does your shift end, Angela?
I don't get done till midnight.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm here by myself till midnight. It's kind of cool. Woo! I got a badass lightning storm too.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Excited. Stuff's blowing around the parking lot.
It's monsoon season, right?
It is monsoon season, and we need the rain. I was gonna water tonight, but I'm hoping it rains so I don't have to. My water bill's a little bit, you know. Well, not the water bill. We have a well, but the electricity that runs the you know, the water, you know. That's interesting. So I have these beautiful tarantula that's living under my house with a king snake. It is so amazing. And so I have this tarantula and king snake, and I have these wonderful toads that soak every night. And when I get home at midnight, the owls screech and these beautiful noises for me. And my friends are like, I'm scared of your property. I can't go there. It freaks me out. And I said, thank God. Everybody's freaked out about it. But me, I love it. Everything's protected when I'm gone, you know? It's a beautiful thing. What more would anybody want? You know, I have owls screeching. Hell, yes, they are. They love me. I had this little bird come and visit me this morning. Oh my God, he was so beautiful, so tiny. He was like, I thought I seen his shadow. I thought he was a hummingbird, but he's not a hummingbird. I wrote it down at home. I don't remember right now. It's a king something or other. Just this cute little feller. Oh, he's so beautiful. And my tarantula has got to be a female because she's got herself a beautiful nest right underneath my igloo. So she keeps all the bugs away from my front door. The king snake keeps the critters away, you know, and it's just so, I just love it. It's so beautiful. Nature's just keeping me nice and safe. And I couldn't ask for anything more. I am so appreciative of it. It just keeps me nice and safe.
The king snake also keeps the rattlesnakes away.
Which is very interesting because less than a week before the king snake showed up, there was a rattlesnake by my front door.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and then all of a sudden I see the king snake. I'm thinking, well, I guess the rattlesnake's not going to be here anymore. So, but I still bring a flashlight at night, you know what I mean, when I'm walking around and stuff, just so I don't startle things, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to accidentally get bit because I startled a snake, you know. I'm pretty sure that the rattlesnake that I seen by my front door was just passing through, though. He was very, very hot, and he just needed a cool place to be, you know. He wasn't aggressive, and he just wanted a cool place to come and be. So I'm pretty sure that, you know, it's okay. But I check every day. My little tarantula's there, and then I look, and at night the king snake comes out with the tarantula. They're both living in the same area. And I think to myself, I'm going, if nature, both of these beautiful predators can live in the same area, what the heck is wrong with humans? What's wrong with us?
Everything.
How come? Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with people? They have all this, you know, if nature can do it, why can't we do it? We ought to be able to accept everybody and just let them live. You know? But that's just me. You know, that's just me. So I'm taking more cues from nature and doing things like that, doing my spirituality, you know, is kind of different. I'm by myself again with Duke, so I don't have anybody there. So I'm like, oh, now what? Oh, wait, I can write on my letters. I can write on my newsletters. I can do my blog. I can do, you know, so I've been doing that kind of stuff. I'll share some of it. I shared one with you, Michael. The stuff for Mankinder I wrote is at the end of what I sent you. I sent you a little note that says read to the end. It'll make sense once you read it all, and you'll read to the end, and it'll make sense.
Right. If you read to the end, you'll see the. What it actually says is, if you read to the end, you will see the God darned I'm tired. Anyway, read to the end. If that works for you, let me know.
Yep. That's what I told you. I was very tired. I was tired. I was like, I was so exhausted. Well, Spirit's been talking to me so much. And I've been having to schedule my spirit time in because here I am working with customers and doing stuff, you know, and I'm shuddering and, you know, doing my thing. And I'm like, come on, guys, can we schedule this in to where I am at home or something? So we've been scheduling that in. So they've been kind of, you know, I get a little more tired because, you know, they're waiting for me, you know, to get home or where I'm off work. And then they schedule in these downloads and all of this extra information that I'm getting. And I'm going, oh, okay, so by the time I actually get to rest and do things, I'm like, man, I'm exhausted. So, I mean, it's okay. I'm not complaining one bit. You know what I mean? But I'm glad they're waiting for me to schedule certain things in. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise I'd be here working and I'm here working, I'm shuddering, I'm walking backwards and going through the store and processing the energy and the downloads and the information, you know, and people are going, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm great. I got a smile on my face, you know, I'm just processing energy, no problem. You know? I'm putting salt across the driveway and in front of the door before I come to work, you know.
Wow.
Hey, it works though. It really does work. It really, really, really does work. So
cool.
You know, even the other employees are going, wow, man, the store is different. The energy here is different. It's different. They're going, this is kind of nice. We don't have to worry about all that other stuff. And I said, well, you're welcome. Well, see what happens to a little bit of salt and some rocks and stones that you carry around with you. You know,
wow,
it works.
Yeah.
So it works. Oh, I love these little. Oh my gosh, I got a race car here. I got another car here, and I got another car here. Ah, it's beautiful. See, the salt works too, but these people pulled up and they're pulling right back out.
Wow,
that's great. It's beautiful. So, Adam seems like a very amazing, enlightened, great person.
Oh yeah.
I got nothing. I got nothing but very, very good vibes from him. Very, very good vibes from him.
A lot of experience, professionalism, enthusiasm, graciousness, connections. He's got pretty much everything. Any thoughts, Orit?
I just looked at Michelle's profile. She looks really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting her online.
Well, she was on last Friday.
She was.
Michelle Rooney.
Oh, forgive me. Yeah.
I know.
Um,
It's a blur.
I just had salad. That's all I know.
It's all good. Yeah, she was fairly quiet, but she, in particular, has said a couple of times how much she appreciates you.
Now I remember. I did the invocation. She liked that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Integrating new people is not easy. That's why most people don't.
Yeah, it's not easy, and it results in sometimes having to neglect other things.
Right? Yeah. Just having produced some video productions where I've got a significant number of people on the crew. You gotta have a chart, and you gotta go through each person and picture them and go, did I talk to them? Are they happy? If I made sure that we're connected and tuned in, and little subtle details of each individual conversation.
Yeah.
Gotta really be paying attention.
I have again 2 points that I would like to bring to you off recording.
Cool, yeah. Tell you what, why don't we bust it now?
Yep, we're pretty much done, right?
End stream.